Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people and huge welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. A lot of you and don't necessarily understand why I rattle off that particular intro. It is almost like a summonings of my guides, summoning of the universal energies, because even though you may not be aware of your guides, I hope you are, but if you're not, they are there, whether you know they're there or not. Your guides are with you, and so by welcoming your guides and my guides, I'm bringing them into the universal energy that we are all sharing together. On Sunday, tomorrow, I have a little video that if you don't know who your guides are, you might find of interest. It's not telling you necessarily how to get in contact with your guides, but there are a few tips and pointers in there over on Meister's Guidance. Also, the Warramai people, they are a First Nations tribe that Narin was historically a spiritual healer and elder with, wise elder. He is, this is the land that I'm living on at the moment, was Warramai land. Over the river is a Wabakal land. Up the valley, I'm trying to think, I can't remember for the life of me. But there are several hundred different areas in Australia, each with their own traditional owners, traditional tribes. The tribes did travel a lot, however they did also engage in agriculture in their areas. So the Warramai people were the traditional owners of these lands, and in Australia for the past few decades it's been tradition for any public videos, events, sporting matches, openings of government, you name it, all these sorts of things, for the local people to be acknowledged. So you'll often see, for example, on Gardening Australia, there'll be a little note of what First Nations land a particular item is being filmed on, and the news will acknowledge it. And if you're going to a conference, they'll often do a welcome to country. The First Nations people of that area will do a welcome to country for visitors coming onto the land. Okay, little blurb out of the way. So, and thank you, Danny, for having a play with my cards, my intuitive cards, much appreciated. What I'm going to have a look at, I'm actually going to have another look at Marianne Williamson. Did a reading the other day. I didn't know her from a bar of soap. I had read very briefly that she was putting her hat in the ring for president. She is an author and a spiritualist. But aside from that, I really don't know anything on her. A lot of people were, yeah, you were right, but quite a few people were also like, no, you were wrong. So I'm going to have a little bit of a more in-depth look at Marianne Williamson. I still haven't read, and what do I get is the Hermit card, illuminating the path forward, but there is an obstacle in this path. Introspection, investigation, but to me this is very much shining a light on the path forward. But there is the snake on the path. So there was a little bit of contentious discussion going on around that. So I just want to have another look, and I so appreciate everybody for keeping the discussion polite. We're all grown-ups here. We're all entitled to our opinion. We're not here to force ourselves onto anybody else, and we are within our own energies. However, entertainment only. I'm in the evening light here because my partner's flown out to the US for a couple of weeks of work. He decided to take yesterday off and took me and his elderly father, turns 90 this year, out for lunch, which was absolutely lovely, and then a walk along the waterfront, etc. So it was lovely. But yes, so that's why I didn't come on yesterday. And yeah, I did have the offer to go with him, but it's sort of one night here, 2 nights there, and I couldn't trust myself to keep my mouth shut and not end up getting shot or arrested. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, back in the energies. Marianne Williamson, show me Marianne Williamson. I've got an image of her photograph here. Show me the energies of Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson. I did get that she's not going to be nominated. But let's have a look. The energies of Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson. Then I'll have a look. Oh, I'm using my, Gilded Tarot Royale for this. Then I'll use my Runic Tarot for her run at politics in general. Okay, show me the energies of Marianne Williamson. Marianne Williamson, renowned author, spiritualist, guru. Show me the energies of Marianne. Okay, thank you. If you're learning tarot, my boys, when they want me to stop, they'll actually put a card so that it won't drop back into the deck. But let's have a look. Okay. 7 of Pentacles, very much, sorry about the light, reaping what you sow, bringing in the harvest, reaping what you sow, but it is about, it can be good or bad. There's no definite way to read this card. It's literally what you've put out there you're getting in. What concerns me a little bit about this, and I do apologise for those that disagree, and we're all allowed to disagree, the money. Perhaps I haven't read any of her work. I don't really read a lot of self-help books. I did find the Celestine Prophecy really interesting, but it is so obviously fiction. But yeah, I don't really read a lot of I don't really read self-help books, full stop. But yeah, I'm just wondering whether it's become about the money now, the publicity, possibly. Let's see where it goes. Challenging that energy is the 9 of Wands, which is, look at this card. It's a surrender. It's a surrender to the messaging. Okay. Energies going on behind the scenes. The Queen of Wands, which I think is probably her, confident in her own skin, knows who she is, bringing a compassionate plan and message to fruition, is inspirational. So I'd say this is Marianne, this is behind the scenes, but here's my whistleblower card. Someone unhappy bringing out a truth. So let's see where this goes. Here we have the Page of Pentacles, message being brought forward about money and anxiety. The truth becoming quite, causing anxiety. Okay. Again, just reading the cards. The karma hanging over her is the 5 of Wands. Possibly some internal conflict is what I'm getting. Thank you guys. There's an internal conflict perhaps going. Entertainment only, but that's what this does represent. If I'm talking about the GOP, this is the GOP card. It's the infighting, but when I'm talking about a particular person and the karma hanging over them, this is about an internal conflict of what message to get out there, what plan to bring forward, and it's very much the pick me, no, you did it, throw you under the bus, it's, okay, you get what I mean. And then we have the King of Cups. Calm, diplomatic, masculine energy, bringing with an emotional offering, emotional strength. Okay, Democrats, Biden administration. So someone mentioned that she's a Mansion cinema type. I don't know. as I said, I'm going into this blind. But what I'm wondering is whether this is clarifying that particular sentiment, that there is this internal struggle in the face of this stable, emotionally stable diplomatic energy, which is my Biden administration energy. Okay, outcome. Ace of Wands. New start, new plan, new message. But disappointed with the outcome. Disappointed with what's being offered. Things coming to an end. And closing of the door. Heartbreak, loss, despair, betrayal. Out in the cold. Financially out in the cold. I don't know if she would be financially out in the cold. Perhaps one of you could clarify for me that is she not selling like she used to and has spent all her money, or I don't know. I'm saying I don't know, but this is the financially out in the cold. But it is also an... I'll flash this up again. This is my moral corruption card. So stopped in the tracks, ended basically, brought down, can mean authentic reform in some decks, but in this particular deck it is just purely an ending. Heartbreak, loss, betrayal is from the truth. Out in the cold, potentially moral corruption, and here is my dark money card. Okay. Financial independence, living the lap of luxury and financial independence. But we've got the Queen of Cups. She has something in that cup. We've got a lot of queens here, which is Marianne's energy. But the Queen of Cups is bringing something forward that's not yet exposed. And then we have the Five of Cups, emotionally loss, disappointment. Yeah. Okay, there is something that is being financially being played close to the chest. Yeah, I'm not going to show the next. I'll show the next card. This is the Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, Knight of Pentacles. Again, couple of meanings. So Four of Pentacles, playing the financial cards close to the chest. Insecurity. The Knight of Pentacles, which can mean slow and steady financial progress forward, strong, diligent, loyal, in domestic strength, etc. But it is also my mercenary card. And here we have emotional, overwhelming. So, okay. Read it. I am not putting any, saying anything against what she has published and her teachings in the past. Possibly, I have not read it. I shall take your word for it that she's absolutely gifted and fabulous in regards to that. Very insightful and spiritual. But the cards are saying there's just something, whether she's gone a little off the tracks, using my runic tarot now, perhaps a little off the tracks with the money or the fame or something. Don't shoot the messenger, please. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look at her political career going forward. I'll just move that box up a little bit. Her political career going forward. Show me Marianne Williamson, her political career going forward. Williamson, Marianne Williamson, political career going forward. I have no skin in the game with this lady. I know that she's highly respected. Her teachings are probably fabulous. I have not read them myself. She's helped a lot of people through. I believe she was an advisor to Oprah, if I've got that right. So this is not attacking her personally at all. She's, from what I gather, from what her supporters have said, she's been the person that they needed in their lives at the time. But show me Marianne Williamson's political career in whatever level of politics. Show me her political career. Political career. Oh, that was just lazy shuffling that. Political career. I do have two cards that have thrown out here that I haven't looked at yet. Show me her political career. Just waiting for the boys to get them in order and stop shuffling on me. Show me her political career. Show me her political career. Thank you. Finally. Oh gosh, sometimes they take a while. Okay. Let's have a look. Right, these two cards that have dropped out, I don't know what they are. Disappointment. Disappointment with what's on offer. Seven of Wands, having to defend herself from something. Or whether she is doing the defending. Let's see where it goes, because you've got the figure at the top of the crag here, bringing down the lightning on the figures in the foreground. But disappointment on offer with perhaps what she's trying to bring forward. She's trying to strike a bolt of lightning through the halls of power, the status quo. Foundation of the reading. Passionate about this new beginning, wanting to burn to the ground and move forward. In the past, Seven of Swords, lies, deceit, betrayal. Has she been betrayed? Has she not been truthful herself? This is about the sneaking into camp and ambushing the two guards. So as the truth ambushed her. Okay, see where it goes. Crowning this reading, the sun, full illumination. It is a nice crowning card. Things being fully exposed. Immediate future. Now the last reading I did, this came up as the signifier. Immediate future. I'm not going to comment on that. Don't want to be shot. Don't want to be shot down. But yeah, okay. Immediate future. There's going to be a full illumination of something that perhaps she's going to have to defend herself, or she's going to come out defending. But we have the immediate future here internally. Moderation, balance. Really? Okay. The word I was just told was allurance, allure. Coy, allure. Okay. A few major arcana coming out in this one. But just like as Danny mentioned when he used my intuitive cards, there are the prompting words at the bottom, but you really need to look at the picture. I can't get that out of my head. They're just telling me allure. Almost a come hither type thing. Okay. And externally, things being seen from a different point of view. Things being suspended. Another major arcana. Something being fully illuminated. Devil energy, alluring, come hither, but being stopped. Now, that's interesting because I always check my cards before I start reading to make sure they're all up the right way, because I don't read upside down. But this one, whatever has happened, somewhere in the shuffling it has flipped itself and come through upside down, unnoticed to me. 8 of Cups. So this is about brave, up the right way. It's about taking and then leaving the scene, basically, very quickly, as in moving on towards something that suits you better, or walking away, leaving behind what is not suiting you. It's also, if you have a look at this little squirrel, what a brave little squirrel grabbing the cup off that big nasty dragon there. But it is about walking emotionally away from what no longer serves you, and or towards what does serve you. Moving on towards what does serve you, but being upside down, and the bravery of the little squirrel. Being upside down, the hopes and fears, it's telling me that she's going to find herself stuck by whatever is going on. Find herself stuck, unable to leave it behind, unable to move on. Right over the Hanged Man, which means things are suspended and paused and stopped and seen from a different point of view. The outcome, 6 of Pentacles, the giving and receiving of help, the loans and debts, who owing and being owed. And it is also a financial card. See where it goes. Page of Wands. Powerful message being brought forward with the illumination of the light and the sunflowers. 10 of Wands, which is about planting the seeds for future hope going forward, but it's also the ending of a cycle. Planting the seeds for the new cycle, but the ending of a cycle. It's the burden card in other decks, but it's not a burden in this one. This is about putting down roots for the next generation, the next cycle. Possibly entrapped by the messaging, 4 of Wands, which is my entrapped by the messaging, and then the 10 of Wands. The truth, stabbing into the tree, something being brought forward, an offer being brought forward that's going to be exposed, and then we have the star of truth and hope and good versus evil, judgment. A lot of major arcana coming through today. Judgment, the Fool, foolishness, new start, and here we have the Knight of Pentacles again, my mercenary card. Here we have on the base, we've got the King of Wands, so the lawmakers, inspirational lawmakers. We have the 9 of Pentacles, which is that the luxury, the financial independence, living in luxury. But we have the 5 of Cups, loss and disappointment, but also a what's the word, guys? Just not caring, indolence about those that are whose lives you're tipping over. And then we have the 8 of Swords, which is restriction. 10 of Pentacles, which is an ending financially, a harsh truth being brought forward. I can't remember the cards I drew last reading, but this reading's got the same vibe. Now, I will reiterate again, don't get me wrong, I don't know the person. If what she has taught really resonates with you, then go for it, because she sounds powerful, she sounds knowledgeable, and she sounds really worth studying her works, but politically, no, maybe not so much. Okay, please don't shoot the messenger. Entertainment only, and I'll get on to something perhaps a little less contentious. Okay, thank you for joining me. Love to you all.